Hey guys, this is Pam. Today we're going to demonstrate to you an asymmetrical haircut that has an undercut on the left side and is put together with a one length left side going directly into a round graduated technique that is over directed to the first cutting guide. So just to get started, I chose not to shave or clipper this undercut area. The undercut area that we chose was the model's preference, not to go too large with it, but in the end we did actually make it a ½ inch larger up closer to the parietal ridge. But in the beginning, this is what we started out with. She was a little cautious. So just setting this in vertical sections. And naturally you can use your clipper if you want to. In the end, we're going to detail it with some scissor over comb. We're taking our section to just behind the ear. We wanted it to go just into behind the ear. You can stop your undercut in front of the ear, at the ear, go a little bit behind the ear. It's just a choice. I was looking for a smooth transition from the front to the back. Using clean vertical section, always checking for my guide. Cross-checking my work. It's important that you cross-check your work. And now we're going to go right into a one length, beginning at the chin, with a slight bit of angle down towards her chin. And I'm sorry we're not a Hollywood production team. We're working on getting a better camera. Hopefully the next video will have a better camera, and we're working on my angles. We're not trying to produce videos, just trying to put tutorials up on YouTube. So nice clean sections, horizontal, fingers parallel to the section. Zero elevation, as close to the skin as possible. There's many ways you could approach this haircut. This is the way I chose to approach it. One length in at the sides, because an undercut's already going to take away depth and density for the look. So I just chose not to have too much layering going on over here. So we've established that length there. Now I'm going to go right into a graduation technique that's considered round. The sections are diagonal back. Keeping your working area nice and clean. Utilizing the side length as my guide. Hair brought down in a 45-degree position. Fingers parallel to my section. Choosing that bottom nape area right there to not be parallel. I'm over directing it slightly. So I have an imaginary line in my mind that sits on that white cutting collar that you see. So in my mind there's an imaginary straight line going right through her center back so that I can maintain length on that right hand side. This section is being over directed into that previous cutting section. Maintaining my guide and precision. Maintaining my elevation, and here again, fingers pointing straight down through that back, making sure that I keep length So when it swings around to the other side, it's longer on that side. Now this section here will be over directed to that first section that I cut. So the first section I cut at that elevation, the second section I cut at that same elevation, the third section I cut is at the first elevation. Everything else will now be brought to this elevation. So there's going to be a slight buildup of weight, which means the haircut will be left heaviest. Again, over directing everything to my imaginary line that's running through her center back right there. And she's had a different type of haircut before, so she may have a little bit more layering. Her sides were not substantially long, so that's why we're trying to maintain as much length into that other side. This section's being over directed back to that first section, maintaining elevation, finger angle. Now, interestingly enough, we're cutting this asymmetrically. However, if you wanted it to be symmetrical, you would start on the other side the same way and continue on to the haircut in this way, but from the right side. See the line that's forming there? When it's flat ironed and dried, you'll be able to see it more. This is one of those haircuts that you cut your finish line at the end, not in the beginning. Still working with my diagonal section. Over directing all the hair to that first section. Maintaining elevation, finger angle, body position. It's always been said wherever your body goes, your fingers will follow. So it's important to keep your body position accurate when cutting hair, as well as your fingers, and your elevation and your tension. Again, all of this hair is being over directed. I'm not as high this time naturally, only because that hair is not at that elevation right now. For a hair cutting video, it's easier for us to turn the chair since we're only using one camera than it is for me to try to walk around and have someone follow me with a camera. So see that line is forming? In these sections, we're going to see very little hair coming off. You want to see how that area near the crown, that's not going to be over directed and dragged out of where it naturally would be positioned. So I'm not going to raise the elevation high, I'm going to keep it where it lives. Just over direct it back. And there that beautiful shorter to longer asymmetrical line is forming. Again, there's a handful of ways to put this haircut together. It just depends on the finished result. We wanted very minimal graduation. We chose not to layer it at all. Now we're going to make a connection at the top, releasing that horseshoe section near the crown. So for this side, what's most important is that your elevation be there. So you still set in some graduation. Lowering the chair for ease. Maintaining my guide. Following the round graduation technique. See, you can do a lot of haircuts with round graduation. They just tend to look different. So it may not become obvious when looking at a picture in a magazine or online, or someone shows you on your iPhone. But you learn how to see the haircut after you do different varying lengths of it. Again, this haircut, the bottom line will be cut when the haircut is complete. The design line or the nape area. After we finish this crown area, we're going to get the hair dried, flat ironed, and we'll come back to show you some detail work and the finished look. Be sure to look for part 2 of this video, and any comments or questions are welcome. And if you want to see other haircuts done, we're looking for suggestions, and we're looking for more models. Look for part 2 of undercut video. Thank you.